1, 2.
You hearing?
Yes, and a very good morning to you all from wherever you are and listening to and looking at this broadcast of the Spiceisle 5th edition T10 cricket tournament here at the Lasages playing field. Of course, today we be a pretty long day. Of course, 3 matches on for the day. And first we'll have well, in fact, Rafael will give them the breakdown of the games today. Of course, you know, Saffron would have won the toss this morning and elected to field.
Yeah, well, good morning, Justin, and morning and probably evening to listeners wherever you are following us from today. Once again, we can greet you with a very good condition here at the Lasages playing field. A little bit on the overcast side, but certainly no threat of rain. And we expect today being a full schedule of games. 3 games are expected today, and we expect today would probably seemingly begin to give us an indication of what direction the tournament goes in terms of the team that would take the lead. First up, Clove challengers, they would come up against Saffron strikers, and that game would be followed by Ginger Generals, and Nutmeg Warriors going to play the final game of the day. So again, we welcome you to the Spiceisle T10 tournament. This is the 5th edition, and it's actually the 2nd edition here at the Lasages playing field. And so far, Justin, it's fair to say that has been a tremendous success.
Indeed, it has been. And in more ways than one, we've been blessed by really fairly good weather so far. As I said, it's just a little bit overcast, and one keeps fingers crossed that we wouldn't have any interruptions. There were some early morning showers in some parts. Yeah, did get some early morning showers around the Lasages area also.
Yeah. We had some, I think it's a little bit more than morning showers. We had some rain overnight. I think some parts of the country probably would have rained more than other parts, but we did have some. We at Granada did have some, what I would say, midnight showers and then early morning showers. But we are happy that the conditions of the look very good. The wicket pitch is in good condition, and the field, like you'd see, being cut lately. Certainly in tremendous condition. So we'll give you the team just before the umpires go. They are just about looking to go out. But the teams for today, Clove challengers, Roland Keto, the captain, Darren Ned, Haston Jackson, Amikel Dubisset, Javid Hazard, Kurt Murray, Samuel Charles, Nicholas Redhead, Darren Hippolyte, Richard Rogers, and Sheldon Joseph. That's the Clove challengers. Saffron strikers, Otil Lewis, Kem Charles, Javel St. Paul, Rickel Sylvester, Sheehan Broffett, Ruel Williams, Adrian Thomas, Nilon Pascal, Nicoby John, Tyrone Charles, and Justin John. As we look at both teams, Justin, we have not seen the dominance of the Saffron strikers that we probably would have seen over the years. Players like Kem Charles, who have been there for quite a while. We see Javel Sylvester I think who would have once played for a different, is now playing for them this year. We really have not seen much in terms of the players going forward on the Saffron Strikers team.
Yes, we haven't seen that and generally there were a bit of inconsistencies in terms of the performances by some of the players that probably weren't expected to really dominate to a certain extent the tournament. We haven't seen that. We have had a couple good scores from 2 or 3 batters, and but generally, I think as the competition go on, though, I think we'll begin to see some of those players come into the fore.
But important to note here the experience of Neil and Pascal.
Yes.
We have seen him is like new oil, continue to bowl well, continue to show the quality of player that he has been and continues to be. He has bowled well throughout this tournament so far.
I think he's bowled very, very well. In fact, it has been a revelation, really. His bowling, his control, and still a fairly good pace that he's still been able to generate. And certainly the top other batters who have come up against him haven't had a very comfortable run at all against him. He has picked up wickets early in the spell, and in fact there's something we have seen with the entire competition so far, where wickets seem to have fallen very early as the first over on about maybe -2 occasions of the games we've had so far. Probably yesterday evening, of course, we did see though that that this didn't happen, and one hopes that we will begin to see the top orders of the teams, because most of the teams, their strength lies within the top order, the first 3-4 batters on the team. And when we have scores sometimes of 17 and 20 for 3 or 4, it means that the cream of the batting has already been dismissed.
So as we see Saffron Strikers now taking the field, again, looking at the team, Javed St. Paul has been one of them which has stood out, and I think played 2 good innings. If I can remember, then there's Otel Lewis, the spinner that normally opens the bowling. He also, have been showing some promise. But all in all, the players of Rickell Sylvester, we haven't seen Kem Charles have been, at his best. So they would need to step up, really, if they're going to make any serious dent in this tournament.
Yeah, and T10, of course, being such a short version, and really players are always under pressure to maintain a high rate of scoring, and the chances of errors being made by batters are increased as a result of the need to probably play out of character most of the time.
So the umpires for this game, we have Sean Manmoring, and he's presiding. The first over going to start from the southern end, or the commentary booth end. Rupert Holas, he's at square leg, and he's probably the most senior umpire we have here on the island. And do we expect that, we would be starting as the bowler is now just, taking his mark again. Lewis.
Yes.
Otel Lewis, who is going to pick up from this commentary booth in. So as we go through this over, we're going to look at the Clove Challengers team. But facing first up is Hassan Jackson. Tremendous bunks there. First delivery, quite a bit of bunks he got there. It's caught the keeper by surprise.
This has been one of the characters so far of the pitch. It has certainly given the bowlers generous bunks off the pitch, and I think the batters should be beginning to adjust to that level of bunks most of the time.
Yeah, and as we look back, we would have seen that the spinners just seem to be more dominant in the tournament so far. And it could probably go down to 2 things. I wouldn't put it down to the pitch, but certainly I had put it down in terms of the technique and the strategy being used to play the slower bowlers. They have picked up most of the wickets in the tournament. Samuel Charles, another national player, Samuel Charles, who would have played for Grenada, really have not come forward for, well, not only this tournament, but I think the last few years, we have not seen what we know he can do. And it's a good opportunity for him this morning, just to get a feel of things.
First, they have to negotiate the first over, which has been catastrophic for most of the teams so far in the tournament.
Well, you can see the cautiousness. Nobody's looking to take much chance. Again, they push into there and take a quick single. Nobody's looking to take much chances, which is probably the right thing to do. You does not want to go hitting, swinging at every delivery. But just at the start, playing on it merit, get a feel of things, and then you can begin to express yourself a little bit more. Ball comes off the edge there. Again, going to run down to that third man area. First boundary being scored there. Again, that's not where Jackson wanted it, as he looked to drive and it came off the edge with a vacant slip as we look at the replay here. And probably would have been a second slip position. There was no slip. And it went down to the boundary for the first four, which completes the first over. 6 without loss.
Yes, and we can safely say that probably the jinx has been broken, and we haven't seen wickets falling yet in the first over. But yeah, Lewis is a very tall man, and he does get some bounce, and I think also one of the reasons why we have seen the domination of the spinners, I think most of them has really executed well. They have used, especially on most of the occasions, that full wide line of attack against the bowlers, against the batters, and they have asked them to really fetch the ball most of the time, and in the process, we've seen a number of errors being made by the batsmen, especially looking to hit maximums.
So the experience, Neil and Pascal, picking it up from the northern end or the road end. And he has shown that he still possesses, quite a bit of talent. And we have seen the experience comes into play there. And one imagine that he could be consistent off stump and just outside the off stump. Again, with using a lot of variation, the slow one and so forth. Be interesting to see. Played down to backward square, and this going to cross the boundary for 4. Pitched up on the pads, and really played well by Samuel Charles. He clipped it just behind the square to the left of the square leg, and they race across his field down to the boundary for 4.
I don't think Pascal should feel too badly about that. It was a good delivery. It was a Yorker length delivery, and Charles just managed to get the bat in front. He was almost falling over in the process as they tried to negotiate it, but got enough bat on it and got it through the onside for 4.
Yeah, confident shot played by Samuel Charles. Ball pitched up and hit with tremendous power down to long off. But just in these 2 shots we have seen from Samuel Charles tells you that he just has some ability.
Indeed.
Shot the plate off the pads was really a beautiful shot, and he stroked this other delivery down to long off.
So immediately we saw Pascal back in the business area, just outside the off stump, just on a good length. And I think that's where he wants to be. That's where he has found success. Basically, most of the success he have had during the tournament so far is just on around that off stump, just on a good length.
It's 12 without loss. We are into the second over. Pascal in his first over. A pull down to mid-wicket, taking in mid-wicket again. Variation shown there by Pascal. A quicker one, shorter and quicker. And the batsman there, Samuel Charles, really was in no man's land. Looking to pull. And that ball rushed onto him, and he only succeeded in hitting it to mid-wicket. And once again, after speaking about how he looked at the first few deliveries, he's gone.
And of course 12 for 1. And again, that has been the line and the general length where we have seen the quicker bowlers succeed. Short outside the off stump, and batters looking to go on the onside and falling prey to that type of length and line. And I would expect to see Pascal quickly reverting to that line and length outside the off stump, and as soon as he did it, he gained success.
Yeah, and we speak about his variation. No, the previous delivery was pitched up and was short of a length and was stayed down to third man. This one was shorter but quicker. And I thought that would have caught Samuel Charles really in the middle of playing the shot and really could have no power, no control. Again, the experience and the variation of Pascal started with the ball pitched right up, which was clipped for 4, but came back and showed his experience. Yeah. And first delivery to K2, beaten outside the off stump.
Yeah.
Again, focus on the off stump line.
Yes, and a bit of shape there for Pascal, and Keto playing down the line, and ball, if anything, probably just leaving him a shade and going through to the wicket keeper. Very close one, and still we continue to have wickets early on, if it's not the first but the second over again. So the trend almost continues, and Clove challengers the 12 for 1 after 2, and of course the Saffron strikers would certainly want to, if not pick up many wickets early, which would be ideal, they would certainly want to ensure that they keep the run scoring under control.
So Clove challengers, we didn't get a chance to talk about Clove challengers, the likes of Roland Keto, captain and national player, represented the West Indies A team at the highest level. So he is a player of tremendous experience, captain the Grenada team. We have seen him get, I think, 150 so far. I think it was on Wednesday when he played. He did had a tremendous inning. Quick run being taken there. So he is one of the players I think Clove Challenge would be looking to if they're going to get up to any kind of score that they can feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Darren Ned, another tremendous player. This Clove Challengers team, to me, in terms of player per player, does look a fairly well-balanced team. This one is lofted, and this one to go first maximum for the day. Carib maximum ball pitched up, and once again, Roland Keto giving it the full treatment.
Yes, almost picking up from where we left off last game. Very first delivery, pitched up, and Keto getting underneath it and launching it straight over long on. And of course, Carib maximum.
We have seen a lot of this in his last inning that he would have played.
Again, one can hear the sweet sound coming off the bat, and that he's timing it pretty well. And Otniel Lewis, a very tall man, he's gone for 14 so far, and he's in his second over. A delivery probably comes off the wide side. In fact, wide said the umpire. So he will have to bowl this one over. The total goes on to 20 for 1. And over number 3.
So Lewis in his second over. Short delivery, strong, and this one goes over wide long on for another Carib power hit, short in length, and quickly we see Roland Keto getting into position, and again depositing this one over wide long on.
Yes, and it's very pleasing to see when premier batsmen get runs. It doesn't matter what your preference may be, but it's always pleasing. Of course, Keto, we know probably, maybe, I don't know if underachieved may have been the word, but one expected a lot more from him, I think, based on the talent and that he has.
He's lofting this one. Where this goes, this is this is the third maximum in the over. Again, another carry power hit. Ball given a little bit of a, and Roland Keita equal, hitting it over long off.
Well, he should realize from the beginning that he can't go that close to Keto and give him room outside the off stump to free that arms. He will disappear, and he has disappeared on 3 occasions so far. There's risk to 34 for 1, and we're in the third over.
Short, he's out, caught at the wicket. And short delivery, Keto once again looking to pull ball, coming off the edge. And who has the last laugh here? Lewis picking up what an important and valuable wicket there, the wicket of Roland Keto.
Yes, and again, that bounce and that delivery outside the off stump, asking him to fetch it. And Keto obliged and got an edge. As you see, it was short. It was outside the off stump. It was really not there for the shot, which was attempted by Keto. So he has to go, and he has to go, and it brings Darren to the crease. So it will be an important partnership for the Clove challengers. 34 for 2.
So a rather important blue stroke there. Lewis in his 2 overs going for 28 runs, but picking up that valuable wicket. 22 runs scored in this over. It really has been a big wicket for the Saffron strikers.
Yes, so you could see that virtually cancelled out the advantage that the Clove challengers would have had, scoring 20-odd runs in the over with the loss of Keto. Important wicket.
So Keto 19 from 6 deliveries and had 3 sixes in the short stint. 34 for 2 after 3 overs. So Darren Ned has joined Hassan Jackson. Jackson is preparing to face his old friend, Nilon Pascal. I don't think they're living far from each other. Plays together for St. David, so they will know each other very well. Again, short lifting delivery. Let's see, wide signal by the umpire. Wide signal by the umpire. Ball lifting, tremendous space there with this delivery.
Yes, I mean, and Jackson would have needed probably another 4 feet to get to that, well over the head, and also the one for the over. But some pace there. This one really, one could have heard the ball thumping into the glove of Bradford.
I can imagine, Justin, that these 2 players will have a sort of competition going among themselves.
Very possible.
And you can see it. First delivery, Pascal would have bowled there, really. Yeah, he caught Jackson. Jackson was in awe.
It would have been very interesting if it was a better line and probably onto the body of Jackson. It really thumped into the glove and thumped hard into Bradford's glove. He, in fact, didn't quite handle it too well.
So Darren Ned, again, another player that really would have created some significant impact when he came on the scene. And he would have played under 19 cricket. He started really as a fast bowler. And at the under 19 level, had tremendous pace. So much so that he went on to represent the West Indies at the under 19 level as a fast bowler. But also would have shown tremendous quality with his batting.
Yes,
And went on to play for Grenada. Really had, and I could remember as he gets off the mark with 2 runs. I can remember that the last T10 tournament that was played at National Stadium, he was one of the top players in terms of batting. He really has developed a lot of skill in terms of his batting and his whole mannerism of cricket. Very good on the field, and is one of the players I think that the ideal player you would probably want for a T20 game. This is the sort of player that you need. And again, we have not seen him come into the fore in this tournament yet.
Yes. And Saffron knows that he can destroy any attack on any given day. There, Ned.
Yeah, he does hit the ball very long. It's 40 for 2 into the fourth over. The Saffron strikers won the toss and elected to field in this 11th game of the Spiceisle T10 tournament. Game number 11.
Well, just checking something there.
Yeah, it just seems to be something the umpires are just verifying or checking to make sure it's okay. I think it's okay. Now, umpire Olas seems to be satisfied now. Kane, another short lifting delivery. And no ball signal. I think it will be for the second ball above the shoulder in the over. I see the old stretch hand of umpire Olas, which means it should be a free hit. But something we are seeing this morning is that they have been able to extract some bunks off the wicket. I imagine that they would do some just refreshing. We are actually seeing the same pitch, maybe after yesterday's game. So there's just a little bit in the wicket. Ball clipped, full toss, hit down, low it does go down to mid wicket. And the fielder on the boundary there, who was Williams, was not able to collect. Ball full to the bat, and really played through mid wicket. Ned picking up his first boundary.
Yes, it was a full toss and it was hit to the left of the fielder there. And it really didn't have much of a chance. It was hit rather firmly. It went almost 1-2 bounces away for 4.
Pascal just a bit off in this over. Another wide signal. He has now picked up one for 18 into his second over. 46 for 2 in the fourth over. Clove challengers will really want to get up to somewhere in the region of 120.
Of course, in this version of the game, if you go for anywhere 9-10 runs and over, it's pretty acceptable.
Yeah, I think at 125 probably would be, I think satisfying enough. You could work with that sort of score. $47 for 2. Yeah, the sun comes out brightly.
Pascal just a little bit frustrated, apparently looking for that Yorker, and just drifting down the leg side on a few occasions. And it's really, you cannot afford to give away too many deliveries in this format. Too many extra delivery. Again, this time a delivery wide again down the leg side.
Yeah, having some difficulty there, Pascal. He's now in the second over, and so far Neil Pascal 1.4 over. He has gone for 21 runs, picked up 1 wicket, and has so far bowled 5 wides. That brings up the 50. Clove challengers 50 for 2. Still one delivery conclude the fourth over. Going at a run rate of 13.4. And as you see, the projected score is 130. They will be happy to get up to that sort of score.
Indeed.
As I said before, Justin, we look at Clove challengers. when I look at all the team that is playing, to me they look on paper really well balanced, and a team that you probably had to look out for. The likes of Javed Hazard and Court Murray.
And, has a pretty balanced bowling lineup also.
Yeah, that completes over number 4. Clove Challengers 50 for 2. But just back to the team. So the likes of Roland Keto, Darren Ned, Hassan Jackson, and Mikel Dubiset, really good, skillful medium piecer, Javed Hazard, Court Murray, Samuel Charles, Nicholas Redhead, and another good spinner. I haven't seen much of him, Richard Rogers. They do boast Samuel Charles of players, who would have played at the high level, players who have the ability, even in the shorter version of the game, to do well. So when I look at all the team, this to me look at a pretty well balanced team, Clove Challenger.
I thought so. And just going back to Pascal, so what a difference. He just looked totally out of rhythm, and what a difference probably 24 hours can make. Well, you would know that you may have even in batting, you may be flowing, and after a break, you just seem to have lost touch and you can't get the rhythm back. And Pascal was bowled exceedingly well throughout the tournament so far. Well, 1 for 22 do not reflect probably the fact that it has been extremely bad, because if you go for 10-11 in your over in the T10, you'll still feel that yes, it's probably there or thereabout.
But you're right. 1 for 22, one cannot. I wouldn't consider it as bad, but based on this last over,
yes,
this is now what we expect from a quality player like him. But
not close to what we've seen so far.
This one is hit high up. Is it somebody's getting under it? Let's see. It just goes down and just dropped before the fielder, John, who is down at long off. Again, short delivery, and the batsman, they're looking to make room to hit it over the top. Again, the bunks just seem to be a bit more. And really would have caught Jackson in a position where he really couldn't get the control that he wanted.
No one could see him trying to climb into it, and the ball continuing to go up, and as a result, he had no control over it. And again, it was outside the off stump, and the batsman happened to fetch the delivery, which has created some problems for them so far.
51 for 2 over number 5. Darren Ned on 7. Hassan Jackson. Open the batting is on 10. And Tyrone Charles, who is also another youth player, one that has come to the system. Does have all the attributes as a fast bowler. You look at his run-up, delivery, stride. Does look good. No both are being able to move the ball away from the batter, the right-handed batter. He's from the southern end. Yeah, just to go back to Pascal, yes, don't matter how good you are. I mean, there are times that you're going to have a bad patch.
Indeed, you will.
His bad patch, in my view, is just for his second over. But it's amazing to see, over the years that he has kept fit, continue to make an impact.
There's so much at stake now for these cricketers.
And this was well played by Jackson. Again, ball comes into him and playing with the tide, played smoothly down to backward square. And the fielder on the boundary. Just having to move to his right ball. Good confident shot by Jackson.
Yes, of course, there's still room. There's still a place for proper cricket shots in the game, despite the the format.
Yeah, well, I continue to see that. It all boils down to sensible batting. right judgment, but proper cricket shot certainly can get you runs.
If you look around the world today in the various franchises, you see the batters who are probably all format players. They do pretty well at all the different formats, adjust the games to suit, and are able to up the tempo when the time arrives, and they're also able to play each delivery on merit.
This one is hit, goes down to mid-wicket, good shot, and that goes for another curve maximum, pitched up, and he clipped it really nicely, Darren Ned, over backward square. The fielder on the boundary just had to look up. It went over his head.
Yes, well, we were just talking about playing on merit, and of course, that type of delivery, given the treatment he deserved, it was drifting into the pad, and he didn't have to do much, just ensure that he made proper contact and turned the wrist and flicked it over the backward of square region, and it went away for 6.
Yeah, another carb power hit. Again, there goes the quality of the batter, all was timing. And he really picked up nicely, play with the tide. 59 for 2, we had the completion of 5 overs. So Darren Ned moves to 14. Hassan Jackson, who's in strike, is on 11. Pascal would have completed his 2 overs. He had 1 for 22. Lewis also completed his 2 overs. He went for 28 and he picked up 1 wicket. So both opening bowlers pick up 1 wicket. And Terran Charles in his first over going for 9. 59 for 2. So we're going to see another young player in Uriel Williams from St. Mark's. A player that has also played at the under-19 level for Grenada.
And had very good returns in season 4, a couple seasons before. So therefore, one expects, again, is another bowler who has used the variations quite well.
Driven straight back for 4. Lovely shot. Ball pitch up. And Jackson really leant into this one and struck it back past the bowler for 4.
Yeah, well, what a way to be greeted into the attack. First ball, just looking to get it in a good area. But there was Jackson, almost ready and waiting for that. And hit it on the part of the ground where it's absolutely safe, back past the bowler. And got full reward for that. Of course, we'll see in the outfield here has been recently trimmed. And the ball has certainly been carrying quite quickly across the ground.
And what is interesting, Justin, the fact that we did have some rain. The ball is really traveling on the outfield. Look green and really in good shape. But the ball is still traveling on the outfield.
So another single there, and probably a little bit tardy there, Justin John. Probably quicker reaction may have had the batsman thinking twice about the single, because he's just in about a short third man position.
Yeah, Williams, more known, as you rightly said, for a lot of variation. He swings the ball a bit. Waist swinger, he's noted of holding those sort of deliveries. It's good to see the youngsters now into the senior tournament. Caught down to backward point. Fielder comes off the boundary. Another positive shot there by Ned. 65 for 2.
That's a very good start. We're just in over number 6, and one expect the tempo would be lifted as we go on. So a projected score of 115. At a couple of overs ago, it was 113. So it means that the Saffron strikers have managed to just pull things back.
Lovely. This one is hit very hard. There was a variation seemingly back into the stumps. There again, we saw the variation from Williams as we look at it here. The umpire just quickly attempting to move, ball crash into the stump. But he didn't get the pause in because it was a slow delivery, so he just able to hit it back to the stumps. Lofted straight, and the long off had to look at this one as it goes very long for another carry power hit. As Darren Ned hitting that really sweetly comes off the middle of the bat and sail over that long off position for 6.
Yeah, it certainly pack a punch, this Darren Ned. It's not a big fella, but it does hit it a very, very long way. And Saffron strikers would know that they would definitely need to see the back of Darren Ned if they're going to probably chase a manageable total here today.
So Ned goes at 21, Jackson 17, so 72 for 2. This partnership has so far put on 38 runs, going just about 12 runs for over, 72 for 2. So really the next 4 overs with Darren Ned in this form. Jackson's ability. It could be very interesting. What happens in the next 4 overs?
Just feel that in the circumstances, 17 from 12 for Huston Jackson may be considered a bit slow. Darren Ned already up to 21 from 13.
Again, Charles in his second over. So despite the extra bunks that I got on the wicket this morning, on the pitch this morning, it still remains really, really good for cricket.
Very good conditions.
We have seen this morning the bowlers get a little out of it, but again, the pace of scoring really is no difficulty for the batters.
No, not at all. In fact, not the bowlers we've seen on show, we can say that they're rather pacey, not really.
Hit down to mid-wicket for 4. Well, that was really well played there by Hassan Jackson. Shortish in length, and one didn't get the impression that he got so much power into it, but he was back and pulled it. And the long-on fielder really had no chance as it went to the right of the long-on fielder down for 4.
As I was saying, the bowlers not very quick, so bowling that length, it certainly gives the batsman an opportunity to pick their spot and get it away to the boundary as Jackson showed there.
Both batsmen on 21. Interestingly, Justin, we haven't seen the likes of Kim Charles. Another shot and really quick delivery. Jackson again, I think I had to get out of the way even though he's looking to pull. Fairly quick delivery. We haven't seen the spin off Kim Charles. Normally, we'd have seen it. Even sometimes opening the bowling will coming on very early. We haven't seen him bowl today.
Sometimes deflating when you bowl a delivery like Charles have just delivered, and the umpire says the one for the over. Batsman are scampering to get out of the way of it, basically. Follows that up with a wide. So more extras being added to the total. So far, quite 10 extras in a 10 over scenario. This is already quite healthy.
Yeah, Charles. Actually, his first wide he has bowled. And it's a good thing that he's doing is trying to keep the ball right up to the bat. Now, if you could do that successfully, it therefore means that you cut off the ability for the batsman to play a number of shots. Yeah. And this, as we see this one right up And he came down and just forced it down to forward square leg. But that's the ideal place area you want the ball to keep the ball right of the Yorker length. It's a good delivery ball there by Tyrone Charles. He has gone for 15 so far.
And of course, having coverage on the leg side, there is of course a backward square leg and a mid wicket and a long on. So you would want to keep the ball as full as you possibly can and force the batsman to go in that general direction.
We're probably going to see even the likes of Javels and Paul who just feel that delivery. So their option in terms of bowling, driven straight, lovely shot. Let's see this one going to go down to the boundary for 4. Really, really good shot. Pitched up. And Jackson driving straight. The fielder coming around from mid off. They just not being able to get a hand to it. Quick movement by the umpire there. Sean Monroe and really get out of the way quickly. But one got the impression that he didn't get the timing he wanted. But he had enough in it that take it to the boundary.
Yes, and it was a proper shot also because what he did is that he struck it hard back to where it came from. So there's no real risk involved. As you were talking earlier, the fact that you can't really score runs by playing proper cricket shots.
He had 83 for 2 after 7 overs. You're going at 11.86. And the projected score just bordering around 120, actually 119. This pair so far has put on 49. Uh, 26 to Hassan Jackson, 22 to Darren Ned. Jackson open the batting. Just faced 17 deliveries, 4 fours. Darren Ned, 22, 14 deliveries. He hit 2 sixes and 1 4. 2 for 83. Clove challengers, they were sent into the bat by Saffron strikers. Now we see Kem Charles coming from that southern end. The ball is hit down to long on. He's now coming in. Kem Charles, right arm off spin. Again, his first wide. He's noted to be a bowler that concentrate wide on the off stump. This one hit down to the cover there. Not getting hold of it. They're coming back for the second run, but yeah, good run in there. It's Jackson again looking to clear long off or probably over cover. Ball coming off the edge and go down to more a squarish cover position. Two runs in the process. Kem Charles, the captain of Saffron Strikers. Again, continue to keep his line. It's off stump. Asking the batsman to reach for it for the delivery. Again, always would be sort of guilty of getting a wide being called every now and then. Again, trying to bring it wider and wider, just trying to probe the right-handed batter to go after those delivery. Once again, Third widened over. $90 for 2. Where does this ball go? So I love where this will go. The umpire just want to make sure it is another carry power hit and goes down to long off for 6. Again, given the Elmo air, Ned reach into the pitch of it and make it look so simple and really hit it over a long off. The fielder just having to stand and look at it go over his head. So Ned pushes on to 29, 16 deliveries. Jackson 28 from 19 deliveries. The expensive over by Kem Charles. The ball just going over the fencing. So the umpire just looking to replace the ball as we see the third umpire coming out. But 96 for 2 and 7.4 overs. So really, one imagine that it should get up to at least 125, 130. This pair has put on 62 so far. He has both batted very well, and I think one of the things that is notable with Hassan Jackson, you just see him in this inning to be playing ball on its merit. Not choosing the right ball to hit him, which is so important in this version of the game. You need to pick the right ball to hit. We have seen him do it in this inning. He's 28. Darren Ned, 29. Ned has hit so far 3 maximum. This one is hit down to cover, and this again goes over for another maximum. Reaching for this one again. We saw he having to reach for this one, but the power, he was able to hit it over cover, straight to extra cover, and it went for another carry power hit. So Darren Ned really playing a tremendous inning. He goes to 35. He hit 4 maximums. 102. Still in the 8th over. And Kem Charles going for 19 so far. Just 1 delivery remaining. So we see in 1, 2, 3 fielders right back on the boundary on the offside. Long off. The extra cover, the cover right back. And then interestingly, that backward point is also right back on the boundary. Short third man on mid wicket. These are the fielders on the leg side. And just seem to be awaiting something there. Umpires. Just a little lull, trying to pick up what seemed to be a situation, but they just seem looking to hear from the third umpire or the match official. Players are just relaxing. Kem Charles, sporting shot number 24. And Darren Ned settles. Again, lucky to get away with this one. Just look a little bit wide. And Ned look a little bit disappointed. So that completes the 8th over. And Clove challengers, after being sent into bat by Saffron strikers, they are 102 for 2. Darren Ned 35 from 18 deliveries. And Hassan Jackson 28 from 19 deliveries. This pair continue to bat on. 68 runs being added between this pair, which would have really rescued Clove challengers, put some respectability to the score. And I do believe they will be looking to see if they can pick up another 25 in the next 2 overs. Kem Charles going for 19 in his first over. Now we see look like Williams, Will Williams. They're going to pick it up his second over. And Hassan Jackson 28. Yeah, and Williams will want this over to be a better over. He went for 13 in his first over. And already started his second over with an extra wide. We'll be very careful of where he pitches. And this one is hit to this goes to cover firmly. Jackson just was not able to pick the gap, but hit it very hard. Went straight to the cover fielder. Cover fielder in having in Rickel Sylvester. Just had to make sure that he stopped that ball. The batsman took single in the process. Where does this one goes? Hit down to cover, and that goes down to the boundary for 4. Good shot by Ned. He actually stand and waited as Williams. They just looking to vary and probably a slower delivery. But Ned actually have to wait on it and hit it, pick the gap in between cover and the cover fielder on the boundary, and it race across the turf for yet another 4. So Ned takes the score to 39, 108 for 2 over number 9. Again, variation there. Williams making Ned making no contact there, just seeming to want to keep the ball off stump and just a bit wider the off stump, but just to vary it in terms of the slower delivery. Ned is hitting in the air, and away does this one goes. And that one goes once again for another carry power hit, hitting it over longer for another maximum.
Yeah, and the type of partnership now, we probably would really put Clove challengers in a rather good position. Anything in excess of 120, you'll have to say they put themselves in a good position, and they can get probably up to 130, which will mean that to be close to the highest total that have been chased.
Yeah, I was seeing at the beginning 125, 130, and they want to get up there, they feel comfortable. There's 114 for 2, 1 over to go. This one is hit straight down to mid-off. Well, where does this one goes? And the batsman pick up a single.
Yes.
Feel if it reached to the fielder. We're going to look at the replay here.
The bowler like he got his hand to it.
Bowler looked just a little bit disappointed there. It's just kind of unsighted there, boy. Look how he's gone down to the fielder and really, just dropping in front of the fielder. One thought maybe a better effort could have been made. He stayed a long time in the air, but dropped just in front of the fielder. So one certainly cannot count it as a life. 109.15 for 2, 9 overs completed. So Justin, maybe we could look to see if we could get another 15 in the last over.
Yes.
Which would bring it up to 130. Jackson. Ned is on 46. And he will look to bring up his half century.
So these two batters are well set. Ned is on 46. And he'll be looking to bring up a half century. Our wide delivery, of course, Kem Charles trying to employ that full wide length.
That's okay.
And
Kem Charles went for 19 in his first over. And this one is hit straight and goes down to the boundary for 4. The middle fielder had no chance. Balls seem in the act. Ned picking up what has been really a very good 50. I said 50, and score moved to 120 for 2. Just to give you about Ned 50, 24 deliveries. He had 3 fours and 5 sixes. And also pick up another boundary. So the score moves to 124, and we only had, in this over, we only had 2 deliveries, so 130 is on.
Yes, indeed, and probably 130 plus we're looking at here. Close to 135.
54 with Darren Ned. But as I said before, I really like the makeup of Clove challengers, the balance and the quality of the players. Should be one of the teams to look at going forward. Just want to sit high in the air now. Someone is going to come into the cover fielder, gets under it, and take the catch. And there goes Darren Ned again, looking to clear the cover boundary. And the fielder coming in rather easily. Daniel, look at coming in and taking up an easy catch. And has been a tremendous inning play there by Darren Ned.
Indeed, 54. Came in at a time when they lost, the second wicket. And has managed to really guide the Clove challengers to what is, for now, a seemingly respectable total. And with 3 deliveries to go, we can still see a few more runs being added as Javed Hazard comes to the crease.
So Darren Ned is caught by Thomas of the bowling of Kem Charles. Kem Charles going for 28 runs with 3 deliveries to go. It's expensive. Picks up that valuable wicket.
Yeah, this stage in the innings, one expects batters to be really going hard at everything.
Dunked long on. A good run in there.
Yes. And of course, the chances of mistake errors, the chances of getting batsmen out at this stage, we call the happy hour.
So it's 126 with 2 deliveries to go.
So we should get up to 130.
This one. So we would need a boundary to get up to 130. It's 127 with just with 1 delivery remaining. My target was 120, 125, between 125 and 130. Let's see what happens. Full toss and hits straight down to the man at long off, who takes a simple catch. And I think the batsman there would be very disappointed, Hazard, and not to do much more with that delivery, but hit it down to straight along off.
Yes, and of course, St. Paul down there really wouldn't not expected to drop catches like that. But 127 for 4, it's still a rather challenging total. And of course, we know that the Clove challengers, they are very well stacked in terms of bowlers. It will be very interesting to see how the Saffron strikers chase this down. There are a few, as you said there earlier, there are a few batters on the Saffron team that is due for some run. And there is no better time, probably won't be a better time to get it done on this occasion.
So Clove challengers being sent into bat by Saffron strikers who won the toss this morning. Samuel Hassan Jackson and actually opened the batting. The last player out, he was caught by St. Paul of the bowling of Charles for 29. He faced 21 deliveries. So he actually batted right through, just facing 21 deliveries. He had 4 fours in his inning. Samuel Charles, again, didn't last too long. He was caught by Charles of the bowling of Pascal. He went for 6. Kato, a breezy inning of 19, caught by Buffett Bull Lewis. And in this inning of 19, Kato would have had 3 sixes in that inning. Darren Ned, very good inning of 54, 26 balls, 37 minutes, 4 fours and 5 sixes. And Javed Hazard not out 3. Mikel Dubisset not out Actually didn't face a ball. 127 for 4. They scored in 10 overs. Bolin Lewis, 2 overs. He had 1 for 28. Pascal, 1 for 22 in his 2 overs. Tyrone Charles, none for 20 in his 2 overs. Ruel Williams, none for 26. And Kem Charles, bit on the expensive side, picking up 2 wickets for 31 in his 2 overs. Really was a generally good performance by the Clove challengers in terms of the batting. And for once, we didn't see a wicket in the first over. They went on to get 127 for 4. And run rate at 12.70, good one. And one would think that they probably may feel the happier team getting up to 127 for 4.
Yes, and if they can manage to execute both facets properly, I think that will certainly serve them in good stead and probably ensure a victory for them. The bowling is anyway as good as they batted. I think one should expect them to defend the 127.
Okay, so let's, you will join us shortly as we see the commencement of the second inning. Again, Saffron strikers would require 128 for victory. And we certainly will be back to give you a commentary on the next half of the game in a short moment.
Everybody charge up. West Indies going higher. Full of energy, energy. Everybody charge up. West Indies going higher. Full of energy, energy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'd ask you where you want the boat. Dude said you to see that man. You down the team long at me?
Right back with you and welcome back to Lassagus playing field. Game number 11, Spiceisle T10 tournament. We have just witnessed the batting of Clove challengers, 127 for 4 in their 10 overs. Saffron strikers requiring 128 for victory. Opening the batting, Adrian Thomas and Kem Charles, Captain Kem Charles. And the wildly Amical Dubiset are going to pick up the attack from the southern end. Adrian Thomas in strike, and Saffron striker will be really aiming to pull off a victory here today. A wild first delivery ball by Dubiset goes down to the boundary for 4 wides, and it's the sort of start you're going to be happy to take.
Yeah, rather inauspicious start there by Dubiset. The widest of wide you will ever see. And really just losing the plot there. But I guess he'll get back into the business area quickly enough.
Just a little bit of overcast, but we see all the flags are really blowing in the breeze. This is good news that the flags are just blowing. But a really nice condition, probably better condition for seam bowling, but players will feel comfortable in a condition like this. Good work there by the keeper there, standing right up. Clove challengers. And that keeper being Javed Hazard. Kane looking to pull there. Thomas having really some difficulty with a shorter delivery, really coming through. Just seemingly maybe just over leg stump.
He's a big man, but that may just be asking him to punch over his weight, having to come and open the batting. Probably just using him as a pinch hitter at the top of the innings.
But we see what maybe proper cricket can do, because I did think that Clove Challenger did start off well. There wasn't the sort of outrageous hitting or trying to swing across the line. They did start really circumspectly. They was very careful, even though they would have lost a wicket, I think, is in the second over. Hit dunked over mid-wicket, goes dunked to the boundary for 4. Pitched up, and Thomas was into this one and swung it over mid-wicket, which is vacant, and it went down to the boundary for 4. But as you see here, just pulling away, and you could see the force that have been placed into the shot. But has been able to pick up 4. The batting of Jackson. What was noteworthy that he batted right through it. He actually was the last person that was. So he batted
Really
10
the
overs.
glue. Yeah.
Although only facing 21 deliveries. So we didn't see the dashing player that we know he is. But it was important for someone to stay. And there's batting around him. And Ned came in and had a very good knock of 54. This one is hit down to long off. Again, Thomas, you look like a power hitter. Really looking to hit the ball hard, but important just to get yourself in better position. He's able to pick up a single. He's 11. So not a bad start for Saffron strikers.
Normally you would see Thomas coming in at the lower end of the innings. Today used at the top of the innings. Different strategy by the Saffron strikers.
Hit. Good feeling there by Jackson. That ball hit down to backward point, and really they had to scramble for the second run there. But tremendous work by Jackson, because really it looked as though it was 2 easy runs. But in the end, Kem Charles really had to scamper to get in. First over completed, 13 without loss. Saffron strikers will be happy to know that they have not lost a wicket in the first over. 13 is started a good rate.
Yeah, that is very much what is required. Chasing 127. So they have to ensure that they keep the rate going. Nicholas Redhead, of course, would have also picked up wickets very early in his spells. So far in the 2 games, he has picked up wickets in the first over of his spells on 2 occasions. So probably will want to continue that strike rate.
It's a hard-working Nicholas Redhead. Really would have worked hard to reach where he would have reached. And as you said, he would be looking to pick up early wickets. Let's see the second over, if we will have a wicket in the second over. We didn't have in the first. Charles really looking to belt the ball. Again, making no contact. And Kem Charles probably see the need to have a word with him, maybe trying to hit the ball too hard. Just need to check and get close to the ball and place it into position. Will be more beneficial for him.
I don't think he knows any other way, really. And being sent up at the top of the order to
hit
play
straight.
shots like
This
that.
one will go. Let's see where this one will end up. Just a few bounces. And down to the boundary for 4. Redhead a little bit guilty there in pitching that one up. So all he had to do is come forward and lift it, which he did. And vacant position down at the long off boundary. Just went back for 4.
Thomas still going at a runner ball, which is not quite is not quite ideal for a man who is playing the pinch hitter's role.
Right up. And how did that miss the stump?
Your calling delivery.
Smart, real good, smart bowling by Redhead. Really good thinking. As you can see there, Thomas looking to give himself room to have the big swing. And that ball was bowled right up. And I don't think it passed far from the off stump.
No, yeah. Probably been struck on the boot somewhere.
Really smart cricket there by Redhead. One of the things of sometimes what speaks to the quality of bowlers is being able to look at a batsman and identify quickly his weakness, and then you work on it. What he has done with the last two deliveries is to make sure that you bring it right up. He doesn't give the batsman room, realizing that the batsman is looking to give himself room, but he's bringing it right up, close to him. So he really does not give him the opportunity to swing his arm. And we have seen it in the last two deliveries.
Indeed. And of course, Thomas isn't equipped with the skill of a top order batsman. Therefore, finding it a little bit difficult. I think you want your pinch hitter to be scoring at 200 plus strike rate. You may still get up to that, but
I hit down to mid-wicket and really balled the fielder in Keto on the long on boundary. Had no chance. It was a bit wide. Just a bit on the wide side there, so really he had much of an opportunity. And that ball went down to the boundary for 4. Again, just dropping this one, just pulling it back a bit. The thing about it, Yorkers are difficult deliveries to bowl. And anytime you miss, you probably most time would be over pitch or full. And this was over pitch. And hit for 4.
Still maintaining something close to the rate, the required rate. Now it's going at 10.5. The required rate is 13.38. And Holiday is still 2 overs gone. Well, one most importantly, not a wicket yet.
Yeah, 21 without loss in 2 overs. Happy? I don't, Justin, you probably would have been able to was saying most of the games. Have you seen much games where wickets haven't fallen, let's say, the first 2 overs?
No, not many at all. So probably the batsmen are now beginning to come to terms with the conditions in terms of the bunks, the pace of the wicket, and are also assessing the game and the game plan in terms of the approach to batting and totals and so on and so forth. We did see it was quite frenetic by the batters in the previous games, especially at the top of the order.
Yeah, I do believe that, as you play, you'll get to understand more and more as you play. So even as we come down to the end of this tournament, we'll find the batters taking more charge. To be set, prepare for his second over. Again, a little erratic from Dubisset, which is he's not known to.
Correct.
He had bowled another wide.
We saw a similar thing with Pascal this morning. I don't know if it's a case of the batters now beginning, the bowlers now beginning to fatigue a bit.
Well, I don't want to think that would be the case. Remember, the bowlers, they only bowled in 2 overs. And we have seen spin, the slower bowlers, dominate. So I think in the case of Dubisset, what we see in here now, I think he's just trying a little bit too much, too hard. There he goes another way. He's trying to do too many things, and one has to be careful in terms of not trying to do too much. Sometimes it just calls for the basics, right? And just making sure that you're able to pitch a ball on a line and link, and being able to roll slower delivery. But again, that comes through practicing. So I think maybe this is what we are seeing happening there for me, trying to do really too much. And this one hit high in the air. Someone is going to get under it. Let's see the fielder from cover coming in, takes the catch. And there goes Kem Charles. Again, slower delivery. So he was really early into the shot and had no choice. Look at this. And he had to reach. Really was in no position and provided really a simple catch to that fielder coming in at cover there, and probably didn't get in the best, close enough, the best position, was able to hold that catch.
Again, that one could have seen Dubisset working his way into that line and length, and having to drag the batter away from the crease, basically wide outside the off stump. And as a result, Kem Charles didn't middle it at all. Took the bottom of the bat, and he got himself out. So finally, a wicket had fallen. Now in the third over, 23 for 1.
Yeah, so that catch was taken there by Darren Hippolyte, who ran in and they had to stretch a bit. Probably would have been better that he even get closer to be more comfortable, but the important thing is that he held the catch. Again, Kem Charles continued to struggle. One of the players who have been playing for Saffron Strikers over the years and has done well both with bat and ball. And he once again has failed today with the bat. Went for 28 in his 2 overs, so it even wasn't the best return, but he picked up 2 wickets in the process. Saffron Strikers losing their first wicket, 23 for 1. And Kem Charles going for 2. Let's see if that should give Daniel Dubisset a little more confidence. Swing, superb shot. Where does this one? What a shot! Picked up there by Sheehan Bruffett and really smacked over backward square for 6.
Well, he did come here with a reputation of being very severe on the faster bowlers, and we see probably a glimpse of Gordon Greenidge. Some of these shots that you really associate with Barbadian players, 1 foot up in the air and pull away on the outside, and really look lovely. In fact, he started in a similar fashion here in the previous match. So Dubisset will know all about that. Slower ball and smash that down the ground. Really smash hard, straight down the ground by Brathwaite. I believe that is a sign of things to come. I don't think we'll be here too long.
Yeah, certainly he's come out with a reputation. Hitting that first delivery that he faced, Cara Power hit that he hit over mid-wicket with, wow, that was hit with tremendous ease and power. And Dubisset pitching up there and giving the right treatment, hit back over his head for 4.
Wow.
Oh, what a shot. And that goes down to the boundary for 4, and you could see a slow ball, and sort of scoop, I don't know how you would want to call that shot. Scooped it up and hit it over mid-wicket for 4.
Well, Dubisset stood perplexed there. Because he tried to get scoop, man. Beautiful shot. Yeah.
And that ball was hit from outside the off stump. What an amazing shot. 37 for 1.
First one you've seen for the tournament so far? I want to think it's the first one you've seen for the tournament so far.
Yeah, I would think probably is.
He seemed like a man on a mission, a man in a hurry.
Here he's gone to 14 from 3 deliveries. Do we set? Roughly treated. And this one is hit to cover. Just think about what an amazing 4 deliveries that he has faced. They end up for the third over 38 for 1. A run rate of 12.67. And Saffron Strikers is really making a tremendous start.
Almost anticlimax, that final shot there in the over by Brathwaite.
So welcome back to Las Vegas. We apologize for just a little power failure.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Still not hearing. When I speak, you hear me? You've been hearing me?
So welcome back here at Las Vegas. We do apologize for a short break. We had a bit of power failure, which probably lasted just for about 5 minutes. But we are back up and running. 51 for 1, Saffron Strikers making a strong reply. Trying to get up to that 128 runs needed for victory. We've seen just in the batting of Shan Brathwaite, who is already on 20, only faced 7 deliveries.
Yes, I know.
Once again, this ball is smashed back past the bowler for 4. Again, Thomas also is on 20, now moves to 24. These 2 players are really seemingly looking to take the attack to the Clove challengers. They are so far put on 32. Really looking to turn it around for Saffron Strikers.
Yeah, and clean him up.
That is ball going right through him there. Thomas looking to drive. And Court Murray just coming on. First delivery being hit for 4. And coming back to bowl Thomas for 24. I saw a breakthrough that probably Clove challenger would have wanted.
Yes, indeed. And of course, you get a feeling that with Court Murray, with his guile and his and everything else, Thomas would have struggled with him, and he didn't take him long. He did manage to smash one down the ground, and the next delivery hit middle stump, bowled middle stump. But he would have done his job. He would have certainly done what they had asked him to do, coming in as a pinch hitter. And of course, has laid the foundation now for the likes of St. Paul, who is really, you could say, the enforcer on the team.
Yeah, looking at his last few innings, he is a critical player for the Saffron Strikers. And with Chan Brathwaite, who looks a part, a player from Barbados. And does show that he has really tremendous ability. We have seen some of the shots that he have been playing, the scoop, and really look as a player that is a dashing player that's really going to put bat to ball.
Indeed.
55 for 2, being over number 5. Target is 128. Court Murray into his first over. This is the first advent of spin. As we look back at the opening attack for Clove challengers.
Oh yes, well good, well good, well good.
Yeah, we saw
Well good.
Dubisset going for 13. It's 2 overs.
Yes, sir.
He able to pick up 1 wicket.
Get a little assist in the wicket and some
And
jumping, some staying
Nicholas Redhead, he going for 21.
This is an important, very important partnership in terms of the chase, and maybe Clove will know that probably they can break through here. They'll be giving themselves an excellent chance of probably restricting the Saffron strikers.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. This pair very instrumental in terms of where Clove goes.
Rapid certainly struck the ball rather cleanly and looked rather assured so far this morning. Must be worrying for the Clove challengers. Quicker ball and St. Paul looking rather suspiciously down at the pitch, and was Scott Murray put a lot more into that and got it up underneath the armpits of Javel St. Paul, and he'll probably just registering a complaint.
Well, it's actually the end of the over.
Yes.
End of the over. It has been a good one by Murray, just going for 6 in the first over. So really would have pulled back after we had some expensive over from the seamers.
It's a no ball. In fact, it's a big no ball by Murray, so that has to be bowled over. So I think that's why the umpire were checking upstairs. So it's a no ball. It will be a free hit. So they're just complimenting how well he ended, but still a chance to score a maximum, a boundary or something, and get some more runs out of it. 57 for 2. So we're still in over number 5.
Yeah, and this again is credit, is an added feature to this tournament where you can pick up the no balls and obviously being relayed from the third umpire. Credit to the facility, the equipment that have been using for this tournament.
Indeed. Yeah, wide to follow. So the free hit is still in effect.
Murray looking to push it full and wide. This one high in the air, and it goes down very close to the boundary. 2 runs in the process. 59, 61 for 2 at the end of 5 overs. And we do have a match on our hands.
Yeah, and at least there was some degree of damage limitation despite the no ball coming to the end of the over. Cost probably, only 3 in the end? I think the Saffron strikers at 61 for 2. We're midway. And having to score 100 and 128. It's really even, Steven. At that rate, they will get to 122, which will not be enough. But one expect to be a real cliffhanger, except maybe Saffron striker at some point can really score a big over and just probably take the winds off the sails.
Well, we know the ability of the 2 players that is in the wicket. They can really hit a long ball, and it will be interesting to see what happens there. Richard Rogers, it's good to see that he has come in the attack fairly early. Ball hit down to long on. It's one of the players that we expected to see a lot more of He would have done very well in T10 tournament over the years. Probably the last tournament that was played at the stadium. He was one of the top players.
Stay right arm over to you.
Right arm leg spinny bowls. Just seeing. There's no one. Ball is hit high in the air. Let's see, Afila is coming on right. Kato, the captain, takes an easy cat. And very important breakthrough there. Ball given some air, and St. Paul, they looking to clear the offside. And really it seemed to be nowhere close to getting that ball in the direction he wanted.
Well, they certainly need to have to be careful here. We've seen the effects so far of the slower bowlers, and the loss of St. Paul's mean that probably the gates now are half open. And again, going for a big shot, it was not quite there, and couldn't hold himself back, and therefore close. Saffron strikers find themselves 62 for 3. Game still, I think, still evenly poised. But now with the fall of St. Paul, you'll probably want to think that Clove's challengers would have just inched a little ahead.
I wouldn't want to be too quick to say that, but certainly, I think, having worked this partnership, knowing the ability of both of the players, they will feel a lot more comfortable and picking up that wicket. And they as we know, St. Paul's hits the ball well, is a fast scorer. Therefore, it means that Sean Bruffett might need to be a little more calculated in terms of how you go about things. Nickoby John is a player from Spiceisle Karaku.
And for what I've seen of Bruffett so far, I can't say he is as comfortable against the slower bowler as he is against the faster men.
Play down to third man, just past the short third man, and goes down to the boundary for 4. So good way to get off the mark. And Nickoby John, quicker and shorter delivery ball there by Rogers, and he was able to stay it past the short third man.
And Nickoby himself, by all admission, too, have not been too happy with his output so far. And probably will want to, boost his average, want to score some runs, want to guide his team home today. I think. And it's a totally different tempo when the slow bowlers are on.
And we have seen it happening almost in, all the matches. When the slow bowler comes on, things really, really change. And the struggle starts really when the slow bowler comes on. We have seen a single being picked up in that last over. I don't think that Clove challengers will be too disappointed.
No, they'll be very happy with
to
that.
have Nickoby John facing the next over from Court Murray.
Indeed. And happy with the fact that, of course, Rogers went for only 6 runs in the over. One knows that every time the required rate isn't attained, it goes up and the task becomes just a tad more difficult.
So with 4 overs to go, Court Murray has 1. Rogers has 1. So bowlers will have to come on to bowl 2 overs. He's looking to swing there. Really was in no position, hitting across the line.
Danger time point now for Saffron for the Saffron strikers.
I won't be too worried about the singles.
No, they won't be too worried about that at all. They can have 6 of them every over. That shouldn't bother the Clove challengers. You see now how Braffett really handles this slower bowler and smashing that one back down the ground.
That's a power of Buffett. It really went back quickly. Shortest in length. And he was quickly in and smashed it back on the onside. And it went down to the boundary for 4.
Seen about 2 or 3 similar strokes like this for the morning. And really having to quickly defend there as it was darted in by Cut Murray. Very deceptive bowler. Maybe doesn't spin the ball a great deal, but his subtle variations and in line, length and direction does make it very difficult for the batters.
Oh, jeez, I'm big.
Again, not very comfortable. Braffett coming down the track. And one can see the discomfort by the fact that he just had a swing in the end, knowing that he was not there, he was not to the pitch.
Yeah, you're right. Nowhere close to that delivery. In good bowling by Murray. I think he really would have been able to hold this one back a bit, not giving the opportunity to get under it. So it has been a good over so far, just going for 1 boundary. Again, picking up a single in the final delivery. And they will be happy that John gave him most of the strike. 7 overs gone, 74 for 3. Clove Challengers is seemingly tightening things a bit.
This is getting tight. It's the asking rate now is 18. And despite the format of the game, there's quite a mountain already developing there.
Yeah.
They would need a big over, maybe not necessarily this over, but very soon within this over or the next, they would need to a really big over. Whether they can do it against the slower bowlers is left to be seen.
So Cut Murray has concluded his spell. He had in 2 overs, 1 for 17. Rogers, he will continue his 2nd over. Ball right up and in good bowling by Rogers. No room. And Buffett could have only pushed it on Nickoby John. Just push it to short mid-on.
I think you can say now that they do need a move on.
This one is swung, shortest delivery, swung down to that backward square for a 6. Another maximum there. This one shortish in length. And Buffett really into good position. Picking this one up and hit it down to backward square for another carry maximum.
Yes,
Power hit.
That's only 2 backward square, but well over backward square and well out of the arena here. So you probably will see a change. Not a change necessarily, but a replacement ball. So this one has gone out of here. Just to show the power and the danger that Braffett poses.
Yeah, he's the sort of player we know that probably can change things, really. The way that he hits the ball. This one just stood up a bit from Roger, so he was able to get on under it and hit it down to the boundary. We just want to advise you that there are T-shirt replica on sale. You can get one for $100 and 2 for $150. So you can take this opportunity. It's right down it's close to the bar. T-shirt replica, and you can have a choice in terms of the team that you want to support. Again, he's looking for the big swing and seemed to be hit probably in one of the areas of the body
Pleasant at all.
which is most unpleasant, somewhere close to the groin.
Yeah. It's no treatment you can administer really.
It takes time. Probably have to lay back, stretch it out, and looking to hit again over mid-wicket.
Lost his
Profit.
his form there.
Profit on 33 from 14. Seem to have recovered. Let's see. This, and he's driving straight. This ball goes down to the boundary for 4. Really good calculated shot there. Ball pitched up and just reach and stroke it back over the bowler's head for 4.
Well, and a very good shot. Not only a good shot, but a proper cricket shot. One can see the elbow rather high. So good form, just simply stroke it in the air past the bowler and away to the boundary for 4. So a lot will depend on him from here on. I think the Clove will be wanting to find a way to get rid of him.
Pulls, and this one
another
goes
big
over the head of Keto for yet another maximum, another carry power hit. And Buffett continues to really move on and rush it on to 43 from 16 deliveries.
Yes, but they need that. They need to do that because at the moment they're 91 for 3, still needing what 27 and 9. We're still needing 36 in. There's only 1 over to go in the 8th. So in 13 balls, 37 runs in 13 balls, and
so this over really would have turned the tide. Again, looking to swing, make no contact. And that completes the 8 over, 91 for 3. It really has been a big over. And really that put Saffron strikers really in a position where they need to get 37 from 2 overs.
yes, and that means that there is still a lot of work to be done by the batters out there. And Nicobe John certainly cannot leave it up to Brathwaite alone. We'll certainly have to come to the party.
So we have not seen Jackson. We have not seen Jackson bowl yet. He still seems rushing down to long on there. So we'll see who's going to come back for the 9th over. A very important over. Nicobe John is on 8 from 8 deliveries. Profit 43 from 17 deliveries. Already hit 5 fours and 3 maximum. So if he stays in, Saffron strikers do have a very good chance. Ball hit down to cover. Sheldon Joseph in his first over. Really be interesting to see Buffett in this over. And he's, Joseph looking to give himself room. Get in position to hit somewhere down the leg side over mid-wicket.
It's indeed his favorite position. He likes hitting the ball square. Whether it's square on the offside or square on the onside. But also has a powerful shot down the ground. So
10 legal deliveries remaining. You're viewing Spiceisle T10 Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. This is the 5th edition, match number 11. Saffron striker need a further 36 runs. This one hit high in the air. Where does this go? Just drop just close on the onside there, and certainly he's, probably come off the pad.
I think he may have gotten some bat or glove onto it.
Yeah.
And
You're seeing there that no one could get close to that delivery.
of course,
But Prophet again aiming for the leg side. I'm not quite sure whether it came off the bat or the pad. It lofted up.
this time Joseph doesn't bowl.
Still 9 deliveries.
It is getting really tough now on the batters.
Partnership so far 30. 36 needed from 9 deliveries.
So you're getting up to four runs a ball. That's difficult.
Swinging where this one goes quickly down to long off.
We're looking to pull away on the onside. And if it's too late into the shot,
Has been a good over so far by Joseph.
indeed it is. And probably the defining one.
Just 2 runs, 4 deliveries in the over, just 2 runs.
So they would have had to be in that either that very huge over or that fairly economical over to cause the separation. And it seemed like Clove has gotten it from in fact the last few overs have been fairly economical.
And he's looking to swing
going
and make no
outside, yeah.
contact here. This again, this has been a very good over. 5 deliveries, just 2 runs score.
Yeah.
And one imagine Jackson probably might be coming in for the last over.
And may have to find a sixer ball in the last over. Slower ball this time.
And
Really smart bowling. And of course, Braffy doing the smart thing, not taking the single. And
has been a tremendous over ball there by Sheldon Joseph. I think really would have pulled it back.
yeah.
Having 2 runs scored in the 9th over.
Yeah.
And they still have to get 35 in
So
the last
game. You
over.
want to feel that that's the game right there, that over. Yeah, as Saffron strikers just couldn't find that big over that they needed to pull within comfortable range. And probably you'll have to see what makes up history here. 6 sixes. That's the only way they can win now.
Probably some extras.
Yes.
Maybe a couple no balls and 3 hits.
Of course, Darren Ned into the attack.
So we have Darren Ned. I would have thought that Jackson probably would have, but 35 is a big axe in the last over.
Of course. You said it earlier, Rooney, that the Clove Challengers has a lot of resources to call on. And it goes with that. Anyway, 5 deliveries to score 35 runs. Yeah, I think you can hit a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, again, he favors the leg side quite
Yeah,
a
very
bit.
much,
You know,
very
if
much.
you're looking to pull on the leg side.
Yeah.
One would have thought there's only a deep mid wicket. Again, 2 deliveries, no run scored.
Well, it's probably safe to say it's over by the shouting now. It has been that way for maybe 3-4 overs ago. Found it a bit difficult to keep the scoring rate under the required rate under control.
Down to long on the Ambler single, and really, it's all over.
Yeah, but probably realizing now
Has
that and nothing else he can do.
Again, Justin, one really speaks to the quality of the Clove Challengers. They have, as you rightly said, we haven't seen the main fast bowler. He hasn't bowled a ball. And yet, they're in this comfortable position where they really would win this game very easily. 94 for 3. There's 2 deliveries remaining. And
in a game that promised so much in terms of probably the chance of a tight finish, in the end, really simple, easy victory for the Clove challengers, and to have won that game with by 30 odd runs, very comfortable.
yeah, it's a big win in a T10 tournament.
Yeah.
But there have been good all-round performance by the Clove challengers. And that's a final delivery ball played down to Jackson, who is feeling at long on. And Close challengers sort of convincingly won this game today, winning by 33 runs. And really has really outplayed Saffron Strikers.
Yes, and convincing victory by 33 runs or whatever it was in that vicinity. And that was all she wrote. Winning by 33 runs, a comprehensive victory. One has to say, very comfortable in the end. And one has to give the Clove challengers lots of credit. I think also the captain would have done pretty well in terms of the use of his bowlers. And they all responded. And once again, the Saffron Strikers find themselves being struck out here. And they too have some work to do. They will have to find that formula, which really will work to put some victories under the belt. So as I said earlier this morning, things will begin to really show clearly where we are in terms of the tournament. Teams are probably by the end of this day will be far clearer as to who has pole position or who is near to pole position so far in the tournament.
Yes, so we have the conclusion of game number 11. That's the first game for today. Remember that we have 2 more games to be played today. Clove challengers would have won convincingly, scoring 127 for 4 in the 10 overs, restricting Saffron Strikers to 95 for 3 in their 10 overs, with the only person really giving them any form of hope was the batting of Shan Bradford, the ended with 45 not out. We're just going to give a run through the scorecard as we get ready for the presentation of the man of the match. Saffron Strikers won the toss this morning and elected to field, which in my view, Justin, wasn't a bad decision.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
Looking at the condition we had this morning, and a little bit of overcast. And as we saw from the quicker bowlers, the bunks and so forth that they got from the wicket, it did suggest it probably was a good decision that they did. Scoring the team batting first, 127 for 4. Saffron Strikers reply, Adrian Thomas, and he was bowled by Cut Murray for 24. He scores 16 deliveries, hit 1-4 and 1-6. Kem Charles, again, not doing too well, only got 2. And he was caught by Hippolyte of the bowling of Dubiset. Buffett not out 45 from 23 deliveries, 5 4s and 3 6s. Javel St. Paul didn't do too much today. He was caught by Keto of the bowling of Rogers. He scored 3. Nickoby John not out on 10, 95 for 3. Just a look at the bowling. Dubiset, 2 overs, 1 for 30 on the expensive side. Likewise, Redhead, 2 overs for 21. Murray, 2 overs, 1 for 17. And I think this is when it started to pull back with the advent of the spin of Murray. He had 1 for 17. Richard Rogers, 1 for 23 in 2. Sheldon Joseph, 1 for 2 in 1. Critical over. And Darren Ned bowled 1 over. He also conceded 2 runs. And Clove challengers handsomely won this game by some 33 runs. all in all, Justin, I think that the better team won today. They played a better game.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Both they executed well. They stuck with their plans, and I think they came away with a very important victory at this juncture for the Clove challengers.
Right. So I know it was good to know. It was good to know that that some of the top players did begin, especially from Clove challengers, was begin to come into their own. So first game concluded today. The Clove challengers winning by 33 runs, and we are now just in a short while. The second game will be played, and that game should start probably in the next half an hour or so. And that game will be game number 12, and that will be between Bailey Blasted and Ginger Generals. And we do expect again that will be a very keen contest, as we continue to bring this Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 to you live here from the Lassages playing field. And until then, we're going to take a short break and probably be back with you in just about 25 minutes.